Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. I do not dress up before my video reviews because I'm about to go on a job interview. I just dress up because I want to. It's nice to look nice. It's time for an album review. Woods, Sun and Shade. Brooklyn's Woods is a band who, over the past couple years, I fell for really hard. At Rear House, Songs of Shame, At Echo Lake. Every single album I heard was just loaded with these creepy, depressing, lo-fi folk tunes, loaded with noises and effects, and fronted by Jeremy Earl's very distinct falsetto vocal. And I freaking loved it. I couldn't get enough. Woods just wrote such catchy songs on those albums, and to me, they have a pretty original sound. They definitely have some Grateful Dead love going on, and they're not the first band to experiment with folk music, but they have a style that I couldn't see myself getting anywhere else. In a nutshell, that's addiction. But I think I started to worry just a little bit when At Echo Lake dropped. A few tunes on there sounded extremely similar to songs the band had already released, and some other songs on there just felt kind of unfinished, just ended abruptly. So now I've got Wood's latest LP, Sun and Shade, and this might be one of my biggest letdowns of 2011. Like, all of my worst fears confirmed. The issue I had with At Echo Lake, where songs were kind of abrupt, felt just unfinished, or just kind of ducking out before I get a real impression of them, is increased on here. Say Goodbye, Any Other Day, What Faces the Sheet. And the LP's overall length is a little misleading since it's padded out with two 7 to 9 minute instrumentals, the first of which is pretty good. Out of the Eye just has this really patient, repetitive, hypnotic rhythm and flow. It kind of feels like psychedelic, folky krautrock. Pretty cool. While Sol y Sombra starts off pretty interestingly, very dark, very soft, but it just kind of ends up underwhelming me and feeling like it's really not going anywhere. It's just kind of like, what's going on here? Overall, both of these instrumental tracks just aren't as electrifying as other instrumental moments I've heard these guys pull together, like September with Pete. On top of that, there are some songs on here that just sound to me to be too close for comfort to songs Woods has already released, like Handed Out and Pushing Onlys. But still, there are a handful of tracks, pretty good tracks on here, where Woods does make an attempt to write themselves out of their comfort zone and broaden their horizons. To Have in the Home and What Faces the Sheet are like two of the sunniest songs these guys have written. Beforehand, I always pictured myself listening to these guys in the forest at night, or in like a haunted house or something. But now, some of these songs are more fit for a bunch of hippies dancing in a field of flowers in the middle of July, which has a very liberating vibe to it. But on the other end of the spectrum, the song Wouldn't Waste is easily one of the most bleak and painful songs these guys have ever tried to pen. But you know what the thing is, even this album's brightest moments to me feel kinda dull. The playing is a little messier, less enthusiastic maybe, and I know the noisiness of Woods has always been kind of a selling point of the band's music, but some of the guitar parts on here could have used a second take. The vocals too. And honestly, one of my biggest pet peeves in music happens on this album. One of the best songs on here, one of the catchiest and most memorable songs, is the cover. There's a cover of the song Who Do I Think I Am on this album, and oh, I hate it when the best song on an album is the cover, or the song that I like the most at least. But it wasn't always like that. These guys covered Graham Nash's Military Madness on Songs of Shame, but in my opinion, the other material on the album measured up. I mean, I was excited about this. I thought I was gonna love this, but the only thing that kind of happened for me was that all the things I didn't like about At Echo Lake were magnified and spread across this album. One thing I will say I like overall about this LP is Woods makes a noticeable effort to brighten their music a little bit, alter the mood, make music that's a little bit more upbeat, and I love the idea of them doing that. There are a few great moments on here, some decent ones, but this LP's just kind of slumped by a bunch of material that I'm just never ever going to want to return to. Hopefully Cal Chuchesta can bring some kind of silver lining to this cloud of sadness. No, I got nothing. I feel empty inside. I'm feeling a strong 5 to a light 6 on this album. Liking it maybe just a little bit, but for the most part I'm just like neutral on it. Very, very underwhelmed and neutral. But what do you guys think about it? Do you love this thing? Do you hate this thing? Why? And what do you think I should be reviewing next in the Video Brain Talk needle drop thing, vlog, YouTube channel? Forever.